Okay, everyone, I have a small confession to make, and that is that I know I can be a rules lawyer. And I'm I'm trying to laugh at myself because I was trying to listen to and watch one of the D&D sessions from Dice Camera Action. It is a live play game that they did at TwitchCon, and they had it set up on a stage, and they played the game almost like playing like a LARP game, where everyone was in costume and more or less in character. And when Chris Perkins, the DDM, who was dressed up as Strahd von Zarovich, Prince Strahd or whatnot, when he decided, well, that it was appropriate, he would have the players roll dice as you normally would. So they were still playing a D&D game, but it was on stage and they had some guests and all this thing. And as I'm watching this show, I'm seeing that the guest players are making mistakes. And not only that, the regular players are making mistakes. And not only that, Chris Perkins, who's a phenomenal DM, is missing stuff, like a lot. And I know they were confused and they're like distracted. There's like a million things going on. It's a totally different scenario, a game than they're used to. They're used to like just playing. They stream, right? And they're in their own spaces, like their office or wherever they record from and whatnot. And so they're streaming to each other. They're playing virtually, and then they're streaming out to the world via Twitch and then eventually YouTube. So that's the regular game, and here they are doing this live action game where they're almost like acting and playing at the same time, and they have guests, and it's this big production, and they're in front of an audience. So, I mean, I can forgive the distractions. I can understand that things got slipped and whatnot. So the reason I'm admitting today that I am a rules lawyer, one of the things I love about Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games is the mechanics of the game. I really like the mechanics of the game. I like figuring out ways to use them to my advantage or to make the game more interesting or dynamic. That is fun to me. So when I see mistakes being made, when I say mistakes, I'm saying mechanical mistakes. Like, you rolled the wrong die. You're attacking with a long sword one-handed, and you roll a d8. That's right. You're attacking with a long sword two-handed, and you still roll with a d8. That's wrong, because it's a versatile weapon. You're supposed to roll with a d10, and that kind of stuff drives me nuts. That's not what happened in the game, but that's just a simple example of the kind of things that, like, frustrate Gregory very, very much. I get very, like, aggro about that kind of stuff, and I have to laugh at myself, because ultimately, it doesn't matter. If everybody's having fun, and it doesn't stop the game, I've talked about this before, I'm going to talk about it a lot, because it's so important. If it doesn't stop the game, or break the game, or if it doesn't throw the story off, let it slide. Let things keep going. I can accept all that stuff. So if people miss spell effects, or if they mistake, like somebody misses a turn because they were supposed to have 2 attacks, but they only made 1 attack, well, sorry, that's the way the game goes sometimes. It's funny, I find this easier to do as a DM. Like, I'm willing to let things slide, especially a lot of times if it's in the favor of the players. Like, oh, we missed, I as the DM, oh, that monster was supposed to attack 3 times and I only had him attack once or twice. I let that stuff go. I'm like, oh, well, they were distracted. They couldn't. Whatever. I make something up or I just let it go. when I'm watching stuff, like other games, when I'm enjoying entertainment, or when I'm as a player, I find it way harder to like let things go. I'm like very intense about this. I'm watching this game, and one of the things that bother me is they have some players that are guests that have never really played D&D before. I think that's what I heard. Some of the guests are D&D players, but I believe they had one, maybe two players that were new to the whole thing and trying it out or just enjoying or something. Which was a very odd place to throw a new player into this like production, you know, this stage production. But that's cool. I mean, I would love to do something. I would absolutely love to do something like that. Even if I was a first-time player, I think it would be kind of fun. And what was frustrating me is that the new players were sort of like not being guided. They were doing things like, if you say, oh, I'm attacking with the longsword, and you roll a d8 for your attack roll, and there's like 5-6 people that are experienced game D&D players in the game on the stage with them, and not a single one catches it. Now, maybe I saw it wrong, maybe I understood it wrong, maybe they did roll a d20 because I wasn't there. But I was laughing again. I found it interesting and funny to myself, like this little bit of self-awareness. Like, wow, dude, you get so upset and bent about the silliest stuff because who cares if they made a mistake? They could have just as easily rolled a 4 on a d20 as a d8. So does it really matter? Not in the big scheme of things. But anyway, enough about that. Dice Camera Action, such an awesome show, fun to watch. It's a great story, and I learned from the way Chris Perkins runs his game. It's very different than my games. It's very different than other games. And wow, is he a great DM. He just rolls with the story so effortlessly. And that's probably because he's been doing it for years. So that's cool. I admire that, and I'm trying to learn from that every day. Wow, what else? Well, it is Friday, and so normally I would have listened to Critical Role on the way in, or before work or whatever, or this morning. And I didn't, and there's no particular reason why. I guess I just felt like something else today. However, I am very, very excited and looking forward to listening to Critical Role over the weekend because I want to know what's going to happen next. They're in Jorhaus. They're about to go into, and sorry if this is a spoiler for anyone, whatever, here you go. They're in Jorhaus. They're about to go into the City of Beasts in Jorhaus, which I think is going to be amazing and exciting and interesting. So I'm very, very anxious to watch it. I will definitely be doing that over the weekend. I'm kind of confused though because I didn't see a Talks Machina this week. I couldn't find it on Twitch. I couldn't find it on Geek and Sundry's Twitch. I couldn't find it on Critical Role's Twitch. I couldn't find it on YouTube. So I'm trying to figure out if was there not. I gotta go on Twitter and maybe ask some people that might know. I will do that, I guess. But in the moment, I'm like, well, what happened this week? How come there wasn't any Talks Machina? Oh, if you know, send me a message. I'll probably figure it out very shortly. So anyway, that's enough about that. I spent a couple hours editing last night. Car Wars, one of our early games. Somehow in our Car Wars tournament, I skipped over completely Battle 2. So we had recorded Battle 1. It was my first. It was like one of the first games I recorded out of anything. Like literally, I think it was like D&D or any of those games. I feel like the first first Car Wars game we recorded. Did I say Battletech? I meant Car Wars. The first Car Wars game we did was one of the first games I ever recorded. The second one, same thing, and then I realized very quickly, like, wow, I should be doing video recordings, not just audio. So I had audio and still images for the second session the second battle. And I realized very quickly after doing this 2-3 times, I'm like, this is silly. I need to actually record video of the gameplay of Roll20 and what we're doing on Roll20. And so I started doing that with Battle 3 in the tournament. And I just realized, like, somehow I went from Battle 1 to Battle 3 and 4, 5, 6, and I never got back around to editing and posting Battle 2 in the tournament. So, it's in the works. I'm getting close. I'm more than halfway done. I don't know if I'm 3/4 of the way there, but I'm getting close. It's going well. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited to get that out to y'all. Thank you all for stopping in for this quick little end of the week DnDaily. I'll be back probably tomorrow with another one, unless I get the editing done on the Car Wars video, which I kind of doubt. But you never know. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you soon. I'll see you at a table someday, I imagine, I hope, and I look forward to it. And until then, as I always say, keep rolling 20s.